yesterday read from a piece in the New York Times that pointed out on Sunday that the nation's largest healthcare company, CVS, has no black people on its senior leadership team, nor does Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, or Amazon. And there are count them, four African-American CEOs of Fortune or S&P 500 companies. Yet you have a very diverse leadership team at Northern Trust Asset Management. How have you done it? How have you developed the pipeline?
Well, there are a couple of things. It has to start somewhere. So I certainly would give credit to beginning with my predecessor and predecessors for being open to a diverse perspective. But here's a simple thought analogy that explains it, Tyler. You welcomed us, in a sense, into your kitchen. So if you and I were sitting across your kitchen table, we're looking at a globe, but there's a mural painted on it. We could both describe it. We could describe it vividly and accurately, but our descriptions, by definition, would be different, right? It would be different based on our positions. It would be different based on our interpretation. And the only way that we could, in a sense, have the full benefit, as opposed to having an incomplete view, is to have that diverse exchange. Now, assume in that same thought exercise, Tyler, either A, I'm not even at the kitchen table, or B, I'm at the kitchen table, but you have all the decision rights and you haven't invited me into that process. And so what we've done differently is we've been committed to inviting people into that process, to creating opportunities. We have more work to do, but that's how we've gone at it.
Are companies, broadly speaking, Shundrawn, being held accountable enough for making progress in the hiring, advancement, recruitment of any kind of minority, but specifically of black Americans? I note in that Times story they said that only 40% of American public companies publish numbers that report on the diversity and makeup of their workforce, either by race or gender. If only 2 out of 5 do it, how can there be any accountability?
Well, you raise a really good point, because while we've certainly seen an expansion of the kind of information that's provided, just the very statistic that you show shows in part that there's not as much of a demand. I can tell you through my practical experience that I'm actually surprised how often I engage with asset owners, or those who are responsible for overseeing the investment and the administration of wealth. And we're virtually never asked about issues as it pertains to the diversity of our workplace, our management team, and those kinds of issues, how we choose to engage people from a supplier diversity standpoint. So certainly there are organizations doing it, Tyler, but I would tell you it's not as widespread as some might think, and it's certainly not widespread enough to be sufficient to drive enough change.